Okay, so as I was saying the other time, that you need a call to action. There's call to action, call to engagement, but everything is still categorized under call to action, right? So you also need at the end of all your posts, you should always write what what you do or the value you offer for people, and also put an hashtag. That hashtag is not so it's not as used as before, right? A lot of people now do without hashtag, but the problem is if you do your post without putting at least one hashtag, your post will be showing all this 0% 0% when you want to copy the link. So it's usually better just put at least one hashtag. It can be industry related hashtag, maybe telecommunications, industry or something like that. I usually use personal branding, LinkedIn. Do you understand? So, whichever one that suits you, you just go ahead with it. Right. So that's the structure of every content that you create. Right. So, this is just an example. Start with an engaging question. I already explained all of that. And an example here is last year, okay, last year I struggled with imposter syndrome when I started my business. I constantly asked myself, am I good enough? So just stories sells a lot. So if you can be telling stories, even if you want to give points or give points on what people need to do or an information that people need to know, writing it in a story related, there is a way the human brain works when it comes to stories. It feels excited and feels like, okay, they feel involved, they feel like they're part of your story, they feel like you are more relatable to them. Do you understand? So, stories is usually very important when you're writing your content. Always write it like you're telling a story so that people can be able to feel excited a bit when reading your content. Right. So, types of content, we have motivational or inspirational content. A lot of people post those kind of content most of the time Mondays. On Mondays, a lot of people post that kind of motivational content. They usually call it like motivational Mondays, right? So you see a lot of people posting those kind of content on Mondays. Even myself, I post those kind of content most of the time on Mondays. So if you can also adopt that to post those kind of content on Mondays. Right. So there's also educational content. You just want to educate people about your industry or about your niche, the things they need to know, how to do this, how to do that, four ways of doing this, four ways of doing that. But don't write it like that, like four ways. Write it like you're telling a story. You will still come back to those four ways, but you can start like, okay, maybe I want to say four ways of or four key things to pay attention to while building your brand. I could just tell a story of how I helped an executive. Do you understand? An executive to help her. Maybe when the person came to me, the person was very new online, or maybe the person was trying to build a brand or trying to get the position of a get a boardroom position. Do you understand? Or a boardroom appointment, and how I helped the person to be able to build a brand. So I'm telling it in a story, in like a story. I'm telling it like a story. So I'm still going to get back to the four key things they need to do, but I will say it like, okay, these are the four things I helped my clients to do to be able to help them get the results that they got. Do you understand? So people will believe me even more, and I'm speaking as like an authority. They will see me like, okay, this person is not just saying four ways of doing things. They are actually talking about their own experience. So if you say things or write things from a point of view of an experience, people tend to see you more as an expert. So you didn't just go and get those contents from Google and came to drop it for them. They believe that you know what you are doing. That is why you were able to say it in that way. So if I tell you now that I helped my clients, she came to me, she reached out to me in my DM based on a particular post. She came to me and she wants a boardroom appointment, and I was able to guide her, and these are the things I helped her to do to be able to gain a boardroom appointment. Step one, we made sure that our profile was well optimized, and I could show the before and after of the profile. Maybe I'm using a carousel, that is a picture kind of post. Do you understand? I could show the before and after. Then I'll go to the second point. I could say, okay, I gave she appointed me as a social media manager as well, to be able to help her to manage um personal brand. Do you get? So I was creating content for her. Before, she wasn't putting out content that was good enough or that could attract the attention of the people she wanted to attract. But after she started posting this kind of content, then it landed at the boardroom appointment. We could say, okay, the third point you need to do is pay attention to your pictures, your colors, and all of that. And maybe number four, maybe she got an award. Maybe just, I hope you understand what I'm trying to explain. Just make sure you are speaking from a place of experience, or you are speaking from a place of a story, and you are not just talking like you just went to get the information on Google or ChatGPT and you just came to drop it for them. That is the difference between somebody that is an expert and somebody that is just posting content. The content is not attracting any any opportunity at all. Do you understand? So educational content, but make sure you do it in a strategic way. There's on The third kind of content is entertainment content. That is, a lot of people do that on Fridays. Like they just ask their audience general questions, or questions that would help them to know their audience better. It could be questions like, okay, um, like the last on Friday, I dropped a question like, okay, if your personal brand, I don't know if it's this Friday, but it's some time ago, I dropped the content like, okay, if your personal brand were to be like the title of a movie, what title will it be? Do you understand? So I just wanted to something a bit fun, something that would still be a bit educative, because it will help people to know you to a level. Because I can't remember the title I gave mine, but it was kind of funny, but it portrayed my personality. Do you understand? So that was the aim of the game, but it was also still educative in a way. Do you understand? So that could be your entertainment. On Saturdays, people do social Saturdays just to get to know one another, meeting new people. That Saturday, you see a lot of people are commenting in a lot of people's content, just saying Happy Social Saturday. And a lot of them are usually new people. Just like this Saturday that went past now, that was yesterday. I connected with a lot of people in my comment section. They were new people that not I didn't even know at all. And how did I find them? I found them as well in other people's comment section because it's social Saturday. I took the pain to go to other people's content, check the people that commented under their content, said hi to them, said happy social Saturday to them, and this attracted them to my own content. So they came to my own content as well to wish me happy social Saturday. And that was how we were able to connect. Do you understand? So you could also do it in that way. Promotional content. A lot of people also do promotional content on Fridays. Mine is also Fridays. I know I said I post fun questions on Fridays as well. I usually make it either fun Friday or feedback Friday. So maybe I worked with a client during the week and they gave me a feedback. Then I use that opportunity to present it or to talk about it in a storytelling way. Maybe something happened, whatever it is that whatever it is that surrounded that particular feedback, I could just talk about it. Do you understand? Write it in a storytelling way and be able to grab people's attention with it. So this promotional content always build trust. It builds trust a lot because it's like you are showing your social proof. Like, I can help you to get this result as well. I've gotten these results for so person. Just like when I was running I was talking about this challenge, I posted the feedback from previous challenges. I posted one of somebody that got a job. I posted one of somebody that got speaking engagement. I posted one of somebody that increased his or her impression from 3,000 to by 8,000 within a week. I posted about somebody that increased his followership from I think maybe 200 to like 4,000 maybe within a month or 2 months or something like that. Do you understand? So the results people are getting from this challenge, I made sure to showcase it. That is my own promotional content. Just showcasing the fact that if you join the challenge as well, you will get results because I've been able to get the same results for other people as well. So you cannot be any different. And this will make people to trust you that, okay, if she or he can get this same result for this person, definitely I can trust this person enough to help me to get this same result. So that's it. It's just a social proof of what you have done. Do you understand? If you are somebody that wants to get, maybe you want to get an employment or you want to get a job in another company, you could talk about the results you helped your current company to get. Maybe you're a marketing manager and you are able to increase their sales. Maybe you're a sales and marketing manager and you're able to increase their sales from maybe 10 million to 100 million or 10 million to 40 million. Do you understand? You write the percentage and you put it out there. You don't need to write the name of the company, or depends on the company's policies. Do you understand? So you're able to showcase that, okay, I've gotten the same result for people. If you are somebody that renders services as well, just showcase the fact that you have gotten other people that same result. That is the most important thing, right? So so those are the types of content. And there are also content that makes you get known. There are content that makes you get loved, and there are content that helps you to get trusted. The ones that helps you to get known are general content, like, okay, how to do this, just like the educational content I was talking about the other time, right? Those are the ones that helps you to get known, because people would be like, okay, this person knows a lot about this industry. That is that. There is another one that helps you to get liked or loved. That is giving free resources or telling your personal stories. People, like I told you, stories always have a way to make people to relate to you on a deeper level. It makes them relatable to you, or makes you relatable to them. Do you understand? And also the fact that giving out free resources makes people believe that, okay, for you to be confident enough to give out free resources, or if your free resources can be this good, then your paid resources is going to be even better. Just like I was checking out a particular lady I found out through YouTube. She's also into LinkedIn and all of that. And I found her out, and the one of the things she gave out was a free template on the content that helped that to build a followership to about 40,000 within 7 months or something like that. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and it drew me to her, not because I'm thirsty for free resources, but it just gave me this mindset, like, if this person can be confident enough to give me this particular thing free, then definitely this person knows what he or she is doing. So that's it. That's just the mindset people have. And that is why they begin to love you and like you. So the ones that helps you to get trusted, just like I already explained, is showcasing what the kind of results that you have gotten for other people. Testimonials, feedbacks, reviews, and all of that. Right. So those are the kind of content that, so sales funnel, I think I already, so it's not really sales funnel like that. I think I already said that if you want to get known, post more of educational content and make sure you show up consistently. Don't show up today, then it's another 1 month before you show up. People will forget you. Out of sight is out of mind. And that is why I always say that you should at least show up 3 to 4 times a week, so that you can keep being on people's mind. Out of sight is definitely out of mind. So that's just it. People will like you through stories, they'll trust you through feedbacks, and it's when they trust you enough they can now begin to buy from you. That is if you have what they can buy from you. Do you understand? But even if they don't have what they can buy from you, it could be speaking engagement. They trust you enough to now tell you, invite you for their events. It could be physical events, it could be online events, and all of that. Right. So there are also content pillars. I'll be showing you how to do this with AI, and also how to do this with LinkedIn. I'll be showing you that right shortly after I talk about this. So the main content you should be looking at is to be able to position yourself as an authority, always address your audience pain points. Everybody wants solution to their problems. Everybody. So you should always make sure that you are solving the problems of your audience. And that is why I said in the beginning that you should always look out for the problem you can solve for your audience immediately, that they can get results immediately or almost immediately. Do you understand? So always look out for the pain points of your audience and address it. Don't be, don't hoard information. Don't be don't be too scared to give out information for free. The truth is, the people you are giving information to, they will not utilize it. But you giving out those kind of information, valuable information free, will make people know that, okay, you know what you are doing. That is just it. But I can tell you 99% of the people will not use that content. Even if they will not use it to do anything, they will still come back to you to tell them, to help them to do it. That is just it. I'm speaking from experience. So no matter the kind of valuable content you put out there, don't be scared to give out things for free, especially on LinkedIn. So you also talk about their desires. Just like I can talk about the desire of somebody to get a boardroom appointment and the need to for them to put out their shyness or put aside their shyness if they really want to get the boardroom appointment. They need to put themselves out there. They need to begin to write like somebody who has authority so that people can be able to notice them. The right people can be able to notice them. Also talk about the maybe wrong mindsets that people have about your industry or about your niche. Correct it. Always position yourself as somebody who knows his or her onions or who knows what he or she is doing. So when you talk about mindset, when you talk about all these things, it makes people begin to see you as an authority. Also, as I already said, social proof. Social proof is testimonials, reviews, and all that. It also positions you as an authority. Addressing the mistakes people are making in your industry definitely puts you as an authority. Imagine me coming out and being like, okay, there is this common myth. Okay, let me go to industry myths. Maybe there is this common myth in on LinkedIn. They always say, um, drop always drop valuable comments. Do you understand? Thoughtful comments under people's content. Then I come out and I'm like, oh, people have, I know they always say that drop thoughtful comments, or I can start with, I don't believe you have to drop thoughtful comments every time on everybody's content. And I'll prove it. I think I've gotten to that point where I can actually prove it. There are a lot of I can talk about the fact that a lot of people don't even put call to actions in their posts. So I don't even know what to write, but I still want to help them for my own kind art. Sorry about that. That was the network again. Right. So let me just share. Okay, you can speak, please. Mr. Faisal, you can go ahead, please. Mr. Faisal, you can go ahead.
speaking about the myth and
Okay,
yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, there was a freeze in the transmission when you spoke about the myth. What was the myth? I didn't get it very well. You froze and then
Yes,
you came back in the middle. If you may,
yes, I still want to talk about that's
you
what
know,
I'm still talking about it. Yeah, it was the network, right? So as I was saying, it might be an industry mate, just like my own industry. Okay, I could talk about LinkedIn because LinkedIn it's is where people are able to build their personal brand. So I could just say that a lot of people have believed that, okay, they've always said, always drop thoughtful comments under people's posts. But I can come out and say I don't believe you should always drop thoughtful comments. Yes, it's a bold statement to say, right? But I can prove it. I've gotten to that point where I can prove it for people, and I can say that okay, some people don't even drop, they don't put call to actions in their under their posts, and I don't even know what to write in the comment section. So in this kind of content, but I still want to help them from my kind heart. So I just drop a generic content just to be able to so that the algorithm can be able to help their content. Do you understand? I went against a particular belief in a way, but I was able to prove it. Do you understand? Those kind of people, I just want to help them out of my kind heart. So why shouldn't I drop a comment? Because I don't know what to put down. Yes, drop thoughtful comments in a lot of people's comment section, but there are some people that don't make it easy, and I could that could draw me to now emphasize on okay, the lesson they should now learn from that comment from that content is always ask a question at the end of all your posts, and also help other people from the kindness of your heart. You don't always have to drop thoughtful comments. Do you understand? But the lesson they need to learn from that particular content now is the fact that they should always ask people questions so that it can be easy for people to write comments in their posts. Can you see that? I busted a myth. It was a bold statement to make because a lot of even bigger influencers on LinkedIn would always say, drop thoughtful comment, drop thoughtful comment, drop thoughtful comment. But here am I saying, I don't believe you should drop thoughtful comments. So it will draw people's attention. Yes, it will. Making bold statement like that or going against the industry norm at times always make you, positions you as an authority because they believe that you have a mind of your own. You believe in yourself. You know what you're doing. That is just it. I know I haven't done that on LinkedIn, but I think I'm going to start because I want to start putting out a new set of content that I just prepared. Do you understand? So just to be able to position yourself as an authority. So that's it. Objections. This part of the things I just said now is like an objection, is like an industry myth as well. Something people have believed, but I believe that is not the truth. Do you understand? And also maybe questions people are asking in your industry, and your content can just give answers to some of those questions. Right. So I'll show you quickly, before we go into this, I'll show you quickly how to search for content on on LinkedIn, and also how to use AI to create content based on all of these content pillars that we've just talked about. So let me go to LinkedIn right away. The same search button that we used yesterday to search for ideal audience, right? You could go there as well. My own industry is personal brand. So I could just search personal branding and just search for it just like that. So I will look at all the contents or other people's contents on personal branding. So if peradventure I ran out of ideas of something to post, this is a good way to just run through other people's posts. Can you see? This is an article. I could just read this article and it will give me an idea of what to post. Or you could search through and search for content that has a lot of engagement. Do you understand? Then that will give you an idea of something to post. Or can you see this person? This person puts out a what do they call it now? A a poll. I could decide to run a poll instead of actually putting out an actual content. And this could give me an idea. You don't have to copy their post. It's just helping you to come up with ideas on what to post. After reading about 5, 6, or 10 contents, you should be able to come up with an idea of the kind of content to also come up with. Do you understand? Or you could search for people in your industry, people doing well in your industry, and you just decide to check their content out um on check out their content and get ideas from their content. Can you see now? I'm already checking and some ideas are already coming to my head. Do you understand? So that is just it. How to be able to come up with content ideas just by searching on LinkedIn, right? So whatever your industry is, you could just search. You could search for the people and go straight to their content, or you could just search for general posts and see maybe the content that has good engagement, and you could just come up with ideas through it, right? So that's it. And also, let's now go through AI, right? Okay, so this is my ChatGPT. Let me reload it so that there's also you can also go to Quora, that's Quora, and search for your industry there as well. You can also go to Google, right? And just search your industry. You can scroll through and maybe the latest news in your industry, maybe a latest news in your industry, or maybe something that is trending. And you now decide to look at that particular trend from the angle of your industry. Just like lately there was a particular story that trended in this in Nigeria, right, about a particular man who held down the plane because he wanted to take liquid into the airplane and all of that. And I could just take it from the angle of personal branding and be like, this man has a good brand from the beginning. But because he lacked emotional intelligence, and lately I've actually been thinking of connecting emotional intelligence to personal branding. And when I thought of it, was that story that came to my mind, right? So if I'm now explaining it, I cannot say that the lack of emotional intelligence can actually cost you your personal brand. The personal brand you have built for years. And I could just connect it to that story and make people learn from that story from the angle of personal branding. And the fact that I was able to come up with that idea would make people respect me more because they now believe that I am not just talking personal branding from every other person's perspective. I know what I'm saying, I know what I'm doing, and I have been able to help a lot of people. I know what it takes to help people because if I can be able to come up with that kind of idea or that kind of lesson from that story, it will catch a lot of people's attention. Do you understand? So those are the ways you need to think. Don't just be dropping generic content and all of that. The content that I have now, I'm going to be disrupting a lot of things on LinkedIn. Right. So disrupting things is a good way to grab attention. Just go against the norms once in a while and grab people's attention. It positions you as an authority, and that is just the truth. Do you understand? So, we are talking about um, the problems, right? We looked at problems, pain points, right? Pain points or problems is the same thing. Problems, industry myths, objections, mindsets. So I could come to AI and be like, okay, I could write like, okay, um, it depends if your AI already knows you. The more content you put on AI, the more AI gets used to you, right? But if your AI doesn't know you yet, you could introduce yourself. Someone like me, I don't need to introduce myself. I will just tell it what to do. So you could write that, okay, I am let's just say a marketing manager. I, you could write, tell it your target audience, and you will tell it that, okay, I when you are talking to AI, talk to AI like you're talking to a person, like you're having a conversation. That is the best way I can tell you to that you can be able to prompt AI. So if it give you something that you don't like, you tell it, I don't like what you gave me. It's too generic. I need something more more premium, more unique. Do you understand? And it will give you those things. So I'm a marketing manager. I am trying, no, I want to position myself as an authority on LinkedIn. Kindly help create content that addresses my audience pain points, desires. What else did you say? Mindsets, uh, what else? Industry myths, sorry, industry myths, and so on. Um, to create, let's say, 60 days content. Not all those 60 days content is going to be so good. I can tell you that. So you'll be able to at least come up with 30 good content. 30, let's say 60, sorry, 60 I wanted to write. Right. So if you are someone like me that has, okay, the kind of content I want to do on Mondays, the kind of content I like to do on Tuesdays, you could just go ahead and write it. Mondays is motivation. Tuesday is educational content. Wednesday, I usually celebrate somebody on Wednesday, or but for the case of this, since the marketing manager, I could just write industry meets disruption, and you could also maybe on a Wednesday like this, you could check the news a day before, prior to that day, and maybe there is something you can use as as y- how do I explain it now? Maybe there is a trending news, just like I explained, right? Maybe there's a trending news you can use to your own advantage, explaining things from your own perspective, from your own industry perspective. Do you understand? Just to disrupt things. You could go that way, right? Thursday could be behind the scene. Let's just say behind the scene. That will be talking about your own personal story, right? Um, it could be behind the scene or personal stories. So maybe something you learned that week or a week prior that happened maybe in your office, that happened maybe with you or with your clients that you just want people to learn from as well, right? So personal stories. Um, Friday is feedback Friday, right? Saturday is social Saturday, right? Asking fun questions, fun industry related questions. If you now want to write out those contents, there is a particular template. I'll drop it in the group that I always give to people to make their content easy to be written for them. That is after you've written out your content, right? This is just to give you a title of an idea of the kind of content to write. But if you now want to write the content, there is like let's say 7 key points I always give people to put into their AI after they've written their content. Put it there so that AI can help you to restructure whatever it is you have written and also make sure that it pays attention to the important things, just like writing a like a viral hook or um a hook that would attract people's attention, right? That is one of the prompts I always write there. I always write so that people don't forget, so that you don't forget when you are writing your content. So after you've written your content, then you now copy that particular um, prompt, add it to it, then give it to AI to do. We'll do an example right away. Will be done in a minute. Just this is the major part of the whole thing, right? So let's see what AI is going to come up with. Perfect. Marketing authority positioning. So can you see week one, marketing isn't just about selling, it's about solving. The more you focus on solving real problems, the more magnetic your brand becomes. So it's now left for you to create a content around this particular idea that he has given to you. Do you understand? You could decide to write a story, You could decide to just maybe tell a story of something that happened that relates to it. Three reasons why your ads aren't converting and how to fix them. So these are the ideas. So if some of them does not, you are not so contented with it, you could just tell AI that, okay, I don't like, let's say, let's do it now. I don't like most of the content ideas. They are too generic. Can you come up with something more premium, or please give me a word to use. I'm out of words right now. Something more premium, unique, that's
Yeah, and maybe use refined as well. Can you make more? Can you be more refined in your response? Ask,
yes,
yeah,
right, that would help me stand out and attract the attention of my ideal audience. So let's see. Thank you for, you're absolutely right. If you want to stand out as marketing authority, do you get? So it will give you something, most people will just go along with this, but if you're able to prompt AI properly, it will give you great content. Can you see the three lens framework I use to test every campaign? Can you see this one? It would, if you put this kind of one out, it would position you as an authority, and that's just the truth. Most people think of funnels as a sequence. I think of funnels as trust ladders. Can you see? You are disrupting some things people have believed about your industry. Why campaigns die. So you imagine all these things. Do you understand now? So let's now write a particular content. Let's write a particular content using the structure I always give out every of my cohorts, right? To help them to structure their content appropriately. So let's go with this particular content. So this is a particular content now. So I'll now tell AI, help write this content in a, I'll write my story, oh, help rewrite. That's what I should say. Help rewrite. Because, but I'm not a marketing person now. I don't know the story to write. Do you understand? You write your own story. Most of the time, I write my content. Then I now tell it to help me to rewrite it. Do you get? You must have a brand voice and maintain the brand voice. If you are somebody that is fun, make sure your content is fun and always fun. Do you understand? If you are somebody, the brand voice I use most of the time is professional and friendly. Professional or professional and loving. Do you get? I sound and that is how I am naturally as well. Professional, but still friendly. Friendly, loving. That is my personality. So I don't want to put a particular personality online. Then when people meet me, they see something completely different. So if you are the fun type, make sure your content is always fun. Don't try to, oh, because it's LinkedIn, then you now be all straight and all that. No, make sure your personality shows in all your content. And we are going to be writing part of it so that AI can help us to maintain that brand voice for us. So help me write this content in a storytelling way, right? That's after you have written your content. Storytelling style, that is the first prompt or the first order you're giving to AI. The second one, use professional and friendly brand voice. Sorry. The third thing is your hook. Help write a very curious and viral hook that would make people stop scrolling and read my content, right? That's the third this thing. I think that's the third, right? The fourth thing is help write, help add a simple call to action or question that people can answer in the comment section. I think that's number 4. Number 5 is the prompt is not here right now. There's another this thing I always write. I've forgotten. I'll copy the prompt and give to us, right? Okay. Write the main points in bullets and also maintain like 200 words so your content is not doesn't go out of and people just get tired of reading your content. If you want to write a very long content, you can start your newsletter and start writing those long contents then. Right? Make sure your content is not too long. It can be as short as possible, but don't make it too long so that people don't start avoiding your content. Do you understand? So, except it's super valuable and people know that no matter how long your content it is always valuable. But before people begin to know you for that, maybe don't make people start avoiding your content, right? So let's say write the main points in bullets. This helps people to be able to easily get the main points in your post quickly. So that it doesn't take them hours or take them minutes to read your post, right? What other thing do I used to write? Not more than, let's say, not more than 250 words or 200 words, whatever. You can write 150, not more than 150. Depends on, let's just say 200 words. Okay, so I think we've given it. There's this thing I learned from what's this guy lately? I've forgotten that word. Um, forgotten the word. It's in the new prompt I just did anyway. So I'll put it in the group so that you can be able to use it. So you just copy it from the group, add it to your instruction. You after you've written out your content, then you add it to it so it can help you to structure your content accordingly. So let's see how to write this particular content now. Can you say the okay? Ever wondered why some campaigns look successful but collapse the moment you scale them? That is, if the hook is not good enough, you can tell it to rewrite the hook for you. Just copy and tell it, I don't like this hook. Please help write even um a more attractive hook or something like that. You get what I'm saying? So can you see it wrote a particular story? If the story does not relate to you, please make sure you amend it. Don't put a wrong story out there because you are building a brand. Please don't do that. Make sure whatever story you put out there are the real stories. so that it doesn't hurt you tomorrow. People are reading these things and they are paying attention. Can you see now? So it says a few years ago, I managed a campaign that had all the bells and whistles, beautiful design, generous budget, and solid targeting on the surface. It looked perfect, but halfway through, the results started slipping. That was the day I discovered that what I now call my three lens. Can you see that? It's so, as in, even me, I'll be convinced after reading this kind of post. Every campaign must pass through three lenses: message, market, medium. So let's now tell it, write it in a fun way. Maybe you are somebody that is quite fun. Write it um, in a fun tone or a fun voice, brand voice, right? You now see the difference. Confession. I once ran a perfect campaign that flopped. And I have no idea why. Do you understand? This is more fun, right? So can you see? Picture this: flashy graphics, juicy budget, laser targeted ads, and yet crickets. The results started tanking. I was stressed, gulping coffee like water. That's when I realized every campaign is like a three-legged stool. Kick out one leg and boom, it collapses. Here's my simple three-lens framework. Is your message, is your promise clear? Or does it sound like marketing mumbo jumbo? Market, are you actually talking to the right people or just shouting into the void? Medium, are you using the right channel or trying to sell caviar on TikTok, right? So you can see it's put a call to action for you. Which leg do you see brands tripping over the most? If you are not convinced with this call to action, just like me, I'm not. This is a industry related call to action, and I don't always approve that, right? I will just tell it, please help to rewrite. Let's just do it right away. Help rewrite the hook and the call to action. Make it more generic and simple to answer. Hook. Make it more attractive and curious. Let's see what it will come up with. Perfect. Why do perfect marketing campaigns sometimes crash and burn while messy ones go viral? Okay, which of these three do you think is the trickiest to get right? Can you see? This is much more better. It's better than the ones that we've already done. We checked out initially. Do you understand? So that's how to create your content with AI without, make sure that you remove all these what do they call it? All these emojis so that it doesn't sound AI, so that it doesn't look and sound AI. Whichever area, make sure you also check it and adjust some things. Don't just copy and paste. Make sure you adjust, add some things that you can add, remove some things you can remove before you post it. Be professional about it. You understand? So that people don't just see that you're just copying and pasting AI. People can smell AI. That's just the truth. But it is left for you to now amend it accordingly to make sure that it is not it is still, to make sure that it sounds like you and not AI. All these emojis, make sure you remove them. You can leave all this tick, 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 but all this T and all this, please remove them. And by the time you copy, if there are all this what's the this thing, all this star or something like that, please remove them. Make sure your content is clean. I will also be checking all your content anyway and be giving my feedback. So that is it for creating content using AI, right? I hope that has been helpful enough. So I've given you like 2 or 3 ways to be able to get content. Make sure you always prepare your content every week so that you don't get into, oh, I don't have the content to create this week. Do you understand? Just like today now, you prepare your content for the week, 3 content, 4 content. Make sure you take your time to prepare it so that you don't start doing posting something that will not position you as an authority. Make sure you take your time to do all those things. Right. So we have about just few more minutes to be done with this. Okay, so what to pay attention to, make sure you always give value, value, value. That is most important. Make sure all your content is valuable. Make sure all your content is solving a problem. All your content is your audience are learning from all your content. Make sure it is doing that. And make sure you are consistent. Make sure you are engaging on other people's posts. Something very tricky about LinkedIn is that if you don't drop comments on other people's content, people will not drop comments under your own content as well. So if you want a lot, if you see all those people that have a lot of engagement or a lot of comments under their posts, trust me, they did not just get it. Although some of them have communities, but most of them, a huge part of it is because they have also engaged on other people's comments, content, and those people are just replicating their love. The love they showed them, they're just showing it back to them. So if you want people to engage, which is also very important, so that the algorithm um, can um, can be able to favor your post, make sure you are commenting on other people's posts. Take time out, 1 hour every day, comment on other people's posts. Take out time, weekends, prepare your posts during the week. And you can even schedule them on LinkedIn. Schedule them. I don't know. Mr. Faisal, do you know how to schedule content on LinkedIn? So I can,
I do not know. No, I don't.
oh, okay, you can just come here. If you have your content already, you come to content or to your page. You write your content. You write your content. Can you see this clock sign here? Can you see schedule for later? Can you see it there, Mr. Faisal?
I do.
Yes. So you click on it, you pick the day you want that content to drop, and also the time. So you
I
put the time that you want the content to drop. Make sure you try to maintain a particular time that you post on a regular basis, right? It's very important so that the algorithm works that way. I've noticed it myself. It's not just because some of the big content creators or big influencers on LinkedIn says that. I've also noticed that myself. That is also why I've picked 6 a.m. every day to also put my content out there. Right. So make sure you are very consistent. So if you have prepared your content for the week today, you just schedule it. And when it's now time for your content to drop on the days that you have scheduled, you take out time to engage on the other people's posts. you take out time to engage on other people's posts so that the algorithm can favor your post. And even the days you don't post, so that you can get familiar with LinkedIn, you could still scroll on people's posts and drop comments as well. So that is the ideal thing. Time to post, you can choose your time, but most people engage before they start work in the morning and also after work in the evening. So most people post, so it's usually advisable to post between the hours of 5 to 7 a.m. in the morning before people start work by 8, right? And also between 6 to 7 in the evening. But the morning, I usually have more engagement than the evening content, than when you post in the evening. I've noticed that myself as well. So number two is engagement, building community. Always see commenting on people's posts as you are getting familiar with the person, not just, oh, I'm just commenting because I want to comment, because they said we should comment. Once you see it like, okay, I want to build relationship with this person, you would always drop a comment that will attract the person's attention, or attract the attention of every other person that is going to see that content and see your comment as well. So you don't see it as something overwhelming. It's just a change of mindset. This person, I want to drop comments and I just want to connect with this person. That's just it. Storytelling is very important. I already said that. Short and straight to the point. Don't drop too long content. Just like the content we created just now, it wasn't too long and it wasn't too short. It was just perfect. One post, one lesson. Don't make your post 5 lessons and all that. Make sure it is simple English. Leave enough space in between your posts. I'll be commenting on people's posts anyway, and be giving my feedback. We already talked about building connection yesterday, right? Networking strategically, I already talked about that yesterday as well. Regularly sending connection requests to increase your followership. Take LinkedIn as a workplace. Always make sure that you give it like 1 hour. You include that 1 hour in your as your daily activities, in your daily plans. LinkedIn can give you more than you can ever think. So those times you are giving it is an investment. It is not a waste of time. I can assure you that. I can assure you that. The truth is, even when people search your name on Google, the first thing that usually show up, if you don't have a website, is your LinkedIn page, or your LinkedIn posts, or your LinkedIn newsletter, right? So you must always make sure that you give a lot of attention to your LinkedIn. Do you understand? Right. So even when you go for meetings, if you want people to know more about you, you can just give them your LinkedIn account. That is like a landing page for you, or a website for you, right? So note, daily post ideas. You are going to be having your daily post ideas. I'll drop it in the group so that you know what to post tomorrow and every day. I'll post it on the group either this night or very early tomorrow. Or the first post is usually, okay, telling people the reason why you want to start this challenge, and you're going to be posting for the next 2 weeks and all of that, and why you joined the challenge, the goal of the challenge and all of that. So that's usually the first post. Or you can just do a motivational Monday and just write a bit about the challenge. Do you understand? Tomorrow is Monday. I already said you can just motivate people. Maybe something you learned during the weekend, or last week, or recently, or maybe something of maybe something that has helped you in life. You could just tell your story, and telling story is usually a great motivation for a lot of people, and writing what they can learn from it. That is the motivation there. Right. So post before 9 a.m. every day as much as you can. I already said try to post between 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on a daily basis. Show up as yourself. Let your post show your personality, as I already said. If you're a fun person, make your post fun. If you are a serious-minded person, make your post serious. People will get used to you that way. Do you understand? Don't try to be somebody else online. You might get to meet one or two of these people offline someday. And imagine, because they've seen that your post is always bubbly, bubbly, they now meet you in person and they are trying to be bubbly with you, and you are like, oh no, I'm not like that. It's like a dent in your personal brand, because it means what you are building online is not real. Do you understand? So that's it. It's very important. Set goals. Maybe your followership. I already told you how to build your followership. um the numbers always counts. It always counts as authority most of the time, although it's just numbers, right? But people always see it as authority. So make sure you connect to as many people as possible, but make sure 20 to 30% of your audience are your ideal audience, so you don't get carried away just connecting with the general people. All right. So also study the content of people doing great on LinkedIn and learn from it. I dropped a particular uh, link in the group yesterday of a free training on LinkedIn Learning. I don't know if any of you have watched it. I watched it and I got a certificate, even if all they said there I already knew them, but I just wanted, you can never stop learning. And the Jasmine Ali is somebody I respect a lot on LinkedIn, right? So whatever he puts out there, I always make sure that I learn from it, I read it, just to be able to be ahead of other people in the industry, right? So plan your content ahead. I already said that. Be the first to like and comment on your content after posting. Drop at least 3 to 5 comments in your own content, as in the comment section of your own content. Always be the first to write a comment. You can put an emoji. When you are reading people's content, you'll be seeing all those emojis people drop in the comment. The whole idea is so that people can stay in your comment section. The more people stay in your comment section, the more the algorithm will favor your posts. Do you understand? I learned this from Jasmine Alec as well. I did not know this was the reason why a lot of people put a lot of these fun things in their comment section. But that is the idea. Number one thing is, if people comment quickly on your content, the algorithm will favor it. Also, number two, the more people stay in your comment section, the more your, what do they call it now? The more your reach, the more your reach will count. The more the algorithm will show your content to more people, because they believe that your content is fun, or it is educative, or people are learning a lot from it. That is why people stay long in your comment section. Do you understand? So all those emoji, you see emoji of food at times, emoji of people laughing and all that. It's just so that they can keep people in the comment section. So so make sure you always drop comments. You can also add emojis just to make your comment section fun for people, right? So you can also repost your content. Maybe you posted your content in the morning, you can repost in the afternoon and repost it in the evening. Are you saying something? I can't hear you. I think I already said all this. So before we start, please try to screenshot your profile before you adjust anything on your profile. Try to screenshot it so that you can be able to check your before and after. You can screenshot your reach, your reach, your followership, screenshot your profile page so that you can be able to compare before the challenge and after the challenge so that you can be able to know whether you got value for your from the challenge or not, right? When you cannot feel overwhelmed, it's 14 days, just 14 days. It was because it was used to be 21 days. People get overwhelmed at times, right? But 14 days shouldn't be too overwhelming, right? So find a system that works for you. Batch create your content and schedule your posts if you can. I already showed you how you can be able to schedule your posts, right? Others, profile optimization, build authority, article. I showed you how to write an article yesterday or how to start an article. How to go live. We didn't address that. Um, they don't do this one again. There's no more top voice badge on LinkedIn again, right? It just stopped it recently. All right, so finally, remember progress over perfection. I'll be cheering you on every step of the way. Make sure to let us grow together. Don't give up. If you have any question, this is the right time to ask your question. Thank you all so much for your patience, Mr. Pfizer. I hope you've been able to learn a lot, and I hope you can now be able to kick off for the challenge, right? How has it been
Yes.
for you?
Yes. Thank you very
Do you feel
much.
confident enough
It's been
now
very
to write
interesting.
to
Yes,
write
it's
your
very,
content?
yeah, it's been very, very interesting. And what can I say? Gripping me very well, give all this, as you are giving yourself ideas and talking about speaking to AI and going on to YouTube and all of these things. It's been very, gripping and uh, thinking as this thing is giving me answers. I'm equally thinking and how I will be able to attract my audience and promote myself and my brand. Making me an expert, a subject matter expert on the field of
Yeah,
whichever my interest.
yeah. All right. Thank you so much for that feedback. Um,
Is.
Thank you so much. All right.